This is Prem. Welcome to Post Market Report dated 12th April 2024. First, let us look into the US market. US market, the CPI data was published last Wednesday. The expectation was 3.4%, but the actual was 3.5%. February month CPI data was 3.2%, so it's 0.3% higher than the February data. So March month of 3.5% is a huge probably the inflation is up by a huge margin, so because of which US market reacted negative. Dow Jones on Wednesday down by around 422 points, Nasdaq down by 136 points, and S&P down by 49 points on Wednesday. But surprisingly, the PPI data was published on Thursday. The PPI data expectation was month on month it's 0.3%, but the actual was 0.2%. And year on year data expected was 2.2%, but the actual was 2.1%. The PPI data seems to be better compared to the CPI data, and PPI data, it's an indication that the CPI data may come as expected in the following month. So because of which yesterday the US market reacted positively. However, Dow ended flat yesterday, but Nasdaq ended by around 271 points, around 1.68% higher, and S&P 500 ended up by 38 points, 0.74% higher. That is mainly because the CPI data was not as expected, but the PPI data which came yesterday seems to be better than expected. So because of which the market probably took a U-turn, especially Nasdaq. So technology stocks, Nvidia, Alphabet, Apple and Amazon all rose considerably. Nvidia up by around 4% and Alphabet up by around 2%. Apple stock up by around 4.3%. This is mainly because the Apple stock was sliding probably previously because there was some court cases in many of the states and in Europe. So it had slided considerably, so that now the stock seems to be in a positive direction. That's what Apple stock rose by around 4%. Amazon also up by at all-time high of around $189. So because of which Nasdaq up by around 271 points yesterday, even though the CPI data was not favorable to the market. And Micron Technologies, another stock, up by around 4%. Rest of the stocks, the movements are not very high, probably more or less around plus or 1% actually. So this is the update about the US market for the past 2 days. Coming back to the Indian market, as expected, both Nifty, Bank Nifty, everything fell today. Probably we can say it's a crash or bloodbath, but the impact is not as expected actually. That is mainly because the PPI data that was published yesterday seems to be better for the market. So because of which otherwise the impact would have been more. Because of the PPI data, the impact seems to be moderate for the Indian market, because yesterday we know that Nasdaq up by around 271 points, so that has to some extent supported the Indian market, but still Nasdaq fell by around 234 points today, or around 1%, and the Nifty Bank down by around 422 points. So key stocks in the Nifty Bank all were down. ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank and Kotak Mahindra Bank, all three banks were down. So this is something we discussed on Wednesday. So if the CPI data is not favorable to us, then I told in my video that whatever we gained in the last 2 to 3 days, from 22,500 to 22,750 what we moved in 2 to 3 days. So all those gains may get wiped out is what that I presented in my last video. So the same thing has happened today. If you look at Nifty trading at 22,519, so whatever we gained in 3 days, 250 points, so all those were wiped out because the CPI data is not in favorable of the market. And however, because of the PPI data, otherwise we would have lost 100 more points in Nifty today. So stock recommendations: Entero Healthcare Solutions, Jeff Grease upgraded to buy. The stock up 16%. At one point in time, it touched the upper circuit of 20%. Then finally ended at 16% higher today. Currently trading at 1171. it has a potential to move up to 1500 as per Jeffries. Zomato JM Financial upgraded it to buy, and the target price is 260. Currently Zomato is trading below 200. So these are all the two recommendations I noted down today. Overall, if you look at Indian market, sector wise, most of the sectors were down today. The major impact is for the pharma stocks. In pharma stocks, Sun Pharma, Laurus Lab, Cadila Healthcare down over 3%. Gland Pharma, about Aurobindo and Cipla were down by around 2%. Auto stocks, if you look at auto stocks were also down. Maruti, TVS Motor, Hero Motorcar all were down. Maruti touched 12,800 mark, but today it is trading around 12,300 mark. Oil and gas stocks were also down. Most of the stocks, if you look at both in US as well as in Indian market, stocks that were related to interest specific, those stocks were hit actually. That is mainly because of CPI data. Now the chances of rate cut in June in US is very less. So unless US reduces the interest rate, most of the other countries also will not reduce the interest rate, because the currency impact will be there. So if somebody reduces the interest rate, then probably their currency will depreciate. So maybe other countries will wait for US to cut the interest rate first, and then decide on for their market actually. But however, why market is rising is because mostly the interest rate paid for credit cards and the students loans in US were high actually. So the government and the Fed government will decide something quickly to see whether they can reduce the rate cut, so that the impact for the US people or US student will be less. So otherwise it's very difficult for the students to pay high interest rate. So definitely US government and the Fed will do something to reduce the interest rate. With this in mind, with this aim, US market is trading high, because at one point in time now the US government has to look at reducing the interest rate. So they cannot keep the interest rate high at 5.25 to 5.5 for a long time. So Reliance Infra, one more stock, coming to stock again. Reliance Infra, if you look at Wednesday, because of the legal battle between Delhi Metro, Reliance Infra stock was down last Wednesday, hit the lower circuit of 20%. Today again the stock down by another 13%. So this is something we have to watch out for. L&T is down. Hindustan Aeronautics at record high. Vedanta last Wednesday I think up by around 7%, because all metal stocks were trading higher. Today it's up by around 3%. Hindustan Zinc up by around 7% today. Vodafone Idea FPO is planned, and the FPO date is April 18th, starts on April 18th and closes on April 22nd, and the FPO price will be between rupees 10 to 11, and the value is 1800 crore. So this is the update from the Indian market. So overall, if you look at now, because the PPI data is good, I don't see any further fall in the Indian market. So probably 22,500 should be a support, but I'm not expecting a big rise also in the in Nifty actually. So it should trade between the range of maybe 22,400 to 22,700 is what I feel maybe for the next 1 week. So unless otherwise any big event happens or big news pops up, so that is one thing. And Elon Musk is planning to visit, a 2-day visit is planned by Elon Musk. So I am just following it up on that news. So if I get any update about the Tesla factory opening in which state and other things, if I get any update, I will probably share it across in my channel. So thank you for watching my video. Wish you all a happy weekend. Thank you. Bye.